What is going on, guys? So this video is going to be a little different. I want to talk to y'all about things I hate. Well, I can't say hate. Things I do not like about my third gen 4Runners. So this is my 97. As y'all know, I had a 99 in some previous videos. That one we had for over 20 years, and it was two-wheel drive, four-cylinder. This is V6 four-wheel drive. And I want to go over the things I do not like about these and what I don't want to do a video about just the good. I want to do a video about the bad so people know what to expect. Don't mind the front end damage. There's videos on that. Go check those out. All right. One of the biggest problems I have with these third gen 4Runners is they rust. I live in Florida, so I don't have to worry about the rust except for at the beach, going to the beach all the time. But this one came from Virginia. It didn't stay up there long. Well, it was up there long, but it was in storage. So it did have rust. And I see people all the time talking about on the third gen 4Runner groups how theirs are just rust buckets. The Tacomas were the same way, the 4Runners. Rust is a big issue with these. So that's the number one downside. If you go to buy one of these, make sure there is no rust or very minimum, because these frames rot from the inside out. That's the first thing. Second thing, these hood scoops are crazy expensive. They're over $200 just for the insert. Just a heads up. All right, number 3. They're small. So the third gen 4Runner is a small SUV. I don't have a problem with that for a work vehicle or anything like that, but when it comes to having a family, it does get tight when you have 2 kids. So I don't recommend these for people with more than 1 kid. Just being honest. There's room in the back, but there's no room in the back seat. Interior of these is trash. The seats rip. The plastic vents, they break. Wow, the lighting here is terrible. Whee. So vents break, lighting issues, seal issues, things that you can fix. That's the thing. I don't mind it because you can fix all the interior. Every one of these, this little piece right here pulls up. The interior can be fixed. That's not a huge deal. But the interiors are usually pretty bad on these when you buy them used. Unless you find one that has low miles and someone took really good care of it. All right. Next is going to be the sunroof. The sunroof on these, it either doesn't work, it leaks, or you have problems with it. Mine's flex sealed and it still leaks. So I got to flex seal it again. And I'm gonna weld it up. My other 4Runner had no sunroof. I never minded. I didn't mind not having a sunroof. I had a car with a sunroof. Now I don't have a car with a sunroof. I got a 4Runner sunroof. I never used a sunroof in this thing. Some people love it. Some people hate it. I have no use in it. And they're just a big headache. And they're really expensive to fix. Next, rear door speaker size. Rear door speaker size is 4 1/4 or 4.5. No, hold on. 6.5 up front, 5 1/4 in the back. 5 1/4 in the back. Terrible size. Super small. Sorry about that, guys. People riding through the neighborhood, bumping. So 5 1/4, not a lot of speaker back there, so they don't get loud. I don't get it. There's plenty of room. Mount a 6.5 in the door, just being honest. What else? Radiators on these is stock are good, but at about 150,000 miles, start looking out, because the V6 version of this can have what's called a strawberry milkshake, where the internal of the radiator separates. So the transmission cooler and the transmission cooler and the radiator cooler split, and they combine, so you get what's called a pink milkshake. It's just where both of them go together. So that can cause some damage to the motor. Next, the 3.4 is a good engine. But the timing belt and water pump is a necessity. You have to get done. 150,000 miles regardless. Get it done. OEM parts. And that's another thing. These trucks are terrible for aftermarket parts. Aftermarket parts are garbage for 4Runners of most years. But third gen 4Runners, second gen Tundra, first gen Tundras, second gen Tacomas, Sequoias, anything from 95 to 2005. Do not buy aftermarket ball joints, control arms, bushings, anything. They're garbage. Just buy OEM. It's a little more expensive, but it will last a hell of a lot longer. That brings me to the next thing. Why I said ball joints. The lower ball joints on the Tundras, Tacomas, and 4Runners, the lower ball joint is horrendously terrible for braking. If you off-road a lot, if you have high miles, if you have any kind of alignment issue, road work, anything like that, change them regularly. 70,000, 100,000 miles, change them out every time. And go OEM. You're going to thank me for that because I had a OEM brake and I put a aftermarket one on, and guess what? It broke too. And it was from I don't want to mention names in this, but one of the big box auto parts stores. We'll just say that. Orange and white. We'll just say that. So that I narrow that down for y'all. Those are really the main issues, I think. So what can you take from this, guys? I've owned two. So I had the 2.7 two-wheel drive, 4-cylinder. I loved it. 350,000 miles. The thing's still on the road. My buddy's ex-girlfriend drives it in Colorado. It's probably close to 400,000 miles now. The thing has been a dream. Alternator, starter, things like that have been changed. Battery. I had a huge system in it. No issues. Everything worked. This thing, it's got 200,000 miles on it. It's 3.4, and it's broke down more times on me in the last 3 years of owning it than the last 5 vehicles I've owned, to be honest. And it's just stupid stuff that people didn't maintain. Lower ball joint breaking, alternator going out, battery going out, radiator cracking. I actually had a radiator crack on the 2.7 as well. Ball joints. This one's had CV axle issues. Bunch of things like that. The stupid stuff that with normal maintenance would be fixed, but this one sat for a while, so it did have some issues. Spark plug breaking off in the motor, timing belt, water pump not having a gasket on it. Just crazy stuff. Stuff that I didn't do. Fuel pump going out. That's, things that are going to happen to a vehicle, but this one just is a lemon to me. What else can I talk about that I don't like about this? Biggest lift you can get is a 3-inch lift. You can get Rough Country, Old Man Emu, Toyotech, King Coil. There's tons of them. Tons of different companies that make lift kits for these. You can do a 6-inch lift, but you have to take a Tacoma 6-inch front. You have to put the 6-inch front in the front. You have to do 3-inch in the back with a 2.5-inch spacer in the back with heavy-duty springs. That'll be almost level. There's other ways around it, like changing the 4-link system out and straight axling it, or moving the axle back and pan hard correct bars. 3-inch with a 3-inch body is the easiest way to get 6 inches. You can get Rough Country for a couple $100. You can get a body lift for a couple $100. Under $1,000 have 6 inches. Just fill in the body gap with some panels and put some big 35s to 37s. Do the NorCal mod, which you're going to have to do for 33s on a 3-inch. And you'll be good to go. Yeah, that's about it. And what else can I stand about this thing? I think that's about it. Here's some general information that y'all would want to know. For 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive, the lift kits are the same. The only thing different is the spindles. So you have a hub with CV axles and front diff for 4-wheel drive. You don't have that. You have a spindle assembly for the 2-wheel drive. The lift kits on these is coiled. So you do coil spacers unless you're doing long travel. So 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive can use the same lifts. Even though it doesn't say it, you can use the same lifts. The rear end's the same on both. Some come with lockers, some don't. Try to get y'all in the light. Sun's fading fast. So yeah, you can do lift kit for 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive the same way, and they look about the same. Let's see, Jeep Wagoneer, straight axle is the easiest to go with if you decide to straight axle it. Most of these came with 411 gears or 14 gears. I can't remember which one. I think it's 411. So re-gearing is a big thing if you go over 35s. 33s are the perfect size for these. You need 3-inch lift and a NorCal mod to fit 33. So I had 33 1250 R18 on 18 by 12 negative 44 offset wheels. Check my other video, I'll leave a link in the description, but you can fit 33s with that setup and trim just a little bit. If you want 35s, you got to trim a lot, or you can go with a less offset. So instead of 12 wide, you can go 10 wide, and you can fit 33s no trim or very little trim, and 35s with decent trim. But that's gonna wrap this up. It's getting way too dark out here, guys. Beautiful night though. So as always, make sure you hit that subscribe button if this video helped you out. Hit that like button as well, and if you have any questions, comment below. Thanks.